Another example for the thesis statement. You have just finished reading and discussing the novel Parrot in the Oven in your literature class. Your teacher gives you the following writing assignment. Evaluate Mrs. Hernandez as a mother in the novel Parrot in the Oven. Do you think Mrs. Hernandez does a good job of raising her children? Would you want her as a mother? Why or why not? So here is a writing assignment, and you are supposed to write a thesis statement. So the tentative thesis statement on this writing assignment. Here is your answer. Mrs. Hernandez does a good job. Your answer can vary if you have read the novel, right? Your answer can vary according to your own opinion. Mrs. Hernandez, but here is a different, here is a tentative thesis statement by the author of the book, right? Mrs. Hernandez does a good job of raising her children because she is caring, devoted, and loyal to them. She works hard to keep the family intact, keep their home clean, and put good meals on the table. Moreover, she dreams of a better life for her children and encourages them to take actions that will improve their future. So, what happens here? Here in this tentative thesis statement, you just answered the question given in the writing assignment. So, by answering all this question, what happened? You have written a complete tentative thesis statement. Now, what will happen? You will expand on this. You will expand this thesis statement, and you will create an article or a whole essay on this, right? Test taking tip. On a time test, you do not have a lot of time to think and plan your writing, of course. A quick way to get started is to simply turn the given question into a thesis statement that answers the question. So if you are preparing for the test, right, if you are in the exam situation, what you do not have enough time to think and write, etc., right? So what will happen there, for the sake of writing a quick thesis statement, you should answer the question given in the writing assignment. In the last example, the questions begins, do you think Mrs. Hernandez does a good job of raising her children? So yes, in the last question you saw this type of in the last writing assignment you saw this type of question, right? Some ways to begin a thesis statement for your answer are as follows. So there are some ways given for writing a intended thesis statement. Mrs. Hernandez does a good job of raising her children because. This is first way to write a thesis statement for the writing assignment, which we have already discussed. So this is the second method for writing a thesis statement for the aforementioned writing assignment, and this is the third one, right? And here, often this is a quick and clear way to begin your writing. So what if your writing assignment does not give you a question to start with? Yes, what happens if you do not have a question to start with? What will you do then? If your writing assignment is open-ended, you might have to work a little harder at finding a thesis. Yes, if you do, if you have an open-ended question, right, open-ended writing assignment, then it will be a little harder for you to find a thesis statement. So this is where your topic exploration from the last lesson should come in handy. Yes, if you have explored the topic from the lesson which you have already learned, so it will become handy in that situation, that you will still be able to write a good thesis statement if you have enough knowledge at your disposal. So a good thesis statement will have all these qualities in it. It will say something that interests both you and your audience. Yes, it should fascinate or interest you and your audience or your readers. It will be as specific as you can make it. Yes, it should be very specific. It should not include so many unnecessary or extra words. And third one is, it should focus and narrow your topic. Yes, it should not widen your topic, rather it should focus. It should create some concentration and focus on your topic, and it should narrow down your topic. And another point is, it should address one main idea. It should not contain so many main ideas in it, right? In this way, it will not remain a thesis statement. It will become something else. It should give your audience a guide to what is coming up. Yes, it should be a very, very clear statement because it is a central statement. All the essay or all the article or all the paper revolves around this thesis statement. So it should so it also give your audience a guide to what is coming up in the next article or essay, etc. It helps you test your idea about your topic. Yes, it also test your mind, test your ideas about your topic, test your knowledge about your topic as well. And another point is it helps you organize what you will say in your paper. Yes, it also helps or facilitates you organize your ideas, your thoughts, that what you are going to say next in the paper. It also tell both you and your audience what your conclusion on the topic is. Yes, it also uh, tell us and tell the readers at the very start that what could be the what will be the conclusion on the topic, right? Sometimes people write it at the start, and sometime at the in the middle, sometime at the end of the paper as well. But I recommend you writing a thesis statement at the very start of your writing, right? Because at this level it is good to write a thesis statement at the start, right? When you become a very experienced writer, right? So you can use a thesis statement anywhere in your writing. And the last point is uh, often take a position on an issue or answer a question. Yes, thesis statement often takes a position on an issue, and it answer a question. Of course, when you are answering a questions, you will have to take a position. Here are some examples of thesis statements. You can read the examples from this page, right? And we are going to discuss one or two examples in detail. You should read all those examples. Let us take a closer look at a few of these thesis statements. What would you expect to find in a paper that begins with this thesis statement? If you have such a thesis statement in your exam or anywhere, so what will you expect from this thesis statement? That what is the plan of the writer, right? What the writer, what the author is going to discuss next in the paper or an essay. This is the thesis statement. Let's look at this. Let's discuss this. The epilogue of Theseus demonstrates the qualities of a classical Greek mythological hero: physical strength, courage, and morality. Epilogue means a short speech spoken directly at the audience at the end of a play. You can say that the performer who gives this speech, right? So it's a kind of short speech which is delivered at the end of a play or a drama. So the here the epilogue of Theseus demonstrates the qualities of a classical Greek mythological hero. So here the thesis statement, we get the qualities of a classical Greek mythological hero from the epilogue. And what are those qualities of a classical Greek mythological hero? First one is physical strength, second is courage and morality. So the thesis statement tells us that probably in next paragraphs, or the essay or the section, we will find some details about these qualities. So this thesis statement is very clear, right? The readers have some sort of idea in their minds when they read this thesis statement, and they even come to know that what the author is going to discuss or write in the next paper, right? So probably you will find a paragraph or a section about each of the qualities listed: physical strength, courage, and morality. Yes, probably we might be reading a paragraph, a whole paragraph on each qualities of a Greek mythological hero, right? So this thesis statement here tells us that we might find a whole paragraph on each quality. The writer will probably try to show how events that are described in the epilogue of Theseus demonstrate these qualities, and then relate to them to the qualities of a classical Greek mythological hero. So writer may also try to show how events that are described in the epilogue, in the short speech of Theseus. So how those events demonstrate these qualities, and how they can relate, and how they can be related to the qualities of a classical Greek mythological hero, right? Here is another example of a thesis statement. Let's see that. The scientific stance on the effects of bilingualism on cognitive development have followed the tides of popular belief over the past 5 decades. So this is another thesis statement here. So in this, the writer will probably show how the conclusions of scientific studies on bilingualism have changed with popular opinion during the last 50 years. So this thesis statement tells us that how the conclusions of scientific studies on bilingualism. Bilingualism does mean two language, speaking two language at one time, right? Or knowing or having the knowledge of two language. So if you are bilingual, it does mean you are able to speak two languages. So this thesis statements tell that how the conclusions of scientific studies on bilingualism have changed with popular fashion, have changed with popular opinion during the last 50 years. So it is also a very clear thesis statement. So after listening all the things which I have already discussed, you should be able to answer these questions right here. So here are some writing assignments. You should be able to answer these assignments. So try writing thesis statement for these assignments. And thank you very much for watching. If you have any question, please do ask me.